నమో నమః అందరికీ నమస్కారములు శుభోదయం Today is the 8th day of lectures on the course Sanatana Dharma, and so far we have finished Vedas and Vedangas. Now we started with Upanishads by Dr. CSR Prabhu, and yesterday we had one lecture from him on Isha Vyas Upanishad, and today again we are going to have another. Tomorrow also we are going to have lectures on Upanishads. So let us now start with Vande Mataram by Challa Chitbabu Garu, and then next Prarthana. After that we request Prabhu Garu to start. So let us have Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malayaj Sitalam, Sasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. Suprajyosna pulakitayamini pullakusumita trumadala shobhini suhasini sumadhura bhashini sukhadam varadam mataram vande mataram vande mataram.
ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టిబాబు గారు. Now let us request Satyavati garu to do Prarthana, please. Unmute చేయండి కొద్దిగా.
నమస్కారం.
నమస్కారం.
1 minute meditation. गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपवस्त्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराज्यं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पता न शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सदा तनम्। ॐ महागणपते नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती दीनामत्र देनवतु। ॐ महासरस्वत्यै नमः। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा मृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। हरिः ओम। నమస్కారం.
నమస్కారం అండి, ధన్యవాదాలు సత్యవతి గారు. Now I request all the participants to join 10 minutes before so that we can start the proceedings in time and closing time. Now let us request Dr. CSR Prabhu garu to start his webinar, please. Can you unmute? Unmute.
ప్రభు గారు మ్యూట్ లో ఉన్నారు.
ఓం భద్రం కర్ణేభిః శృణయామదేవాః భద్రం పశ్యేమాక్షభిర్యజత్రాః స్థిరైరంగైస్తుష్టువాగుంసస్తనూభిः వ్యసేమ దేవహితం యదాయుః స్వస్తి న ఇంద్రో వృద్ధశ్రవాः స్వస్తి నః పూషా విశ్వవేదాः స్వస్తి నస్తార్క్ష్యో అరిష్టనేమి స్వస్తి నో బృహస్పతిర్దదాతు. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి. హరి ఓం. Friends, today we'll be delving into the Kena Upanishad, which is belonging to the Samaveda. I just chanted you the Shanti mantra of the Kena Upanishad belonging to Samaveda. Now it is one of the most important Upanishads. Immediately after Isha Upanishad, it comes. Tomorrow we will do Mandukya Upanishad. There are many other Upanishads which require much longer, deeper discussions requiring advanced courses and so on. So in the Kena Upanishad, the word Kena itself means by what? Deni Varana, Deni Chata. That is Tritiya Vibhakti, Chatan, Chen, Tod and Ton. Deni Chata, Deni To, Kena Upanishad. So it starts with the word Kena. Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha. Ishitam preshitam, that is driven or forced by or caused by. Deni chata, caused by what? The mind is projected. Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha. Because we all know, unless and until the mind exists, you cannot observe anything, you cannot know anything, you cannot understand anything, or you cannot observe it. So mind is the most fundamental. In fact, in Taittiriya Upanishad, the mind is shown as Brahman, one of the 5 what are called koshas. Manomaya kosha, Manoeva sarvani bhutani jayante, yen jatan jivanti, yasmin pravishanti tad brahma. So mind is the most fundamental power or force or entity. So a question is being asked by the disciple. As I told you, the word Upanishad means sitting at the feet of the master. The student asks questions. So the student is asking, we are all students, and student is asking, what is the force or power behind the mind being operated? Because without the operation of the mind, it's not possible to do anything. Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha. Then the other important, more important, or maybe equally important, if not more important, is prana. So without prana, without breath, life, there is no activity of the mind also. Jaan hai to jahan hai. So immediate question is, Keneshito kena prana prathama priti yukta. And what is the force which is driving prana itself? Because he has asked first question, what is the force driving mind? Second question, what is the force driving the life, energy, prana? Third is speech. What is the force which is driving the face? Speech. Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti. Chakshusrotram kachadevo yunakti. After speech, it is eyes. Sarvendriyanam nayanam pradhanam. Then, of course, ear. Bhadram karne vishrunayama deva. So all these senses, pancha jnanendriyas. Of course, we also have pancha karmendriyas, hands, legs, sexual organ, and so on. But we have the main agencies of capturing knowledge as first the mind, and mind will operate only prana, life exists, shwasa, and speech comes out, and eyes and ears and the smell. And so, what is the force behind the operation of these intelligent functions or faculties? That is the question. Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha kena prana prathama praiti yuktaha keneshitam vachamimam vadante chakshusrotram ka udevo yunakti. So these are only questions. As I told you, the Upanishads are the questions and answers conversation. The word Upanishad itself means sitting at the feet of the master, sitting nearby. So in various ashramas, say even today in Rishikesh, for example, many ashramas are there, and disciples go there and sit in front of the teacher and can ask questions. The main difference between our Sanatana Dharma and all other religions is this process of inquiry. Every sage and seer and rishi, even atheistic people, they all accept inquiry. You have to ask. If you don't ask, you will not get. And in fact, there is a tradition that you should not tell anything unless somebody asks you. Of course, I'm telling you now without your asking me, but assuming that you will ask later, or you already asked when you applied for this course. So you should tell to a person who asks you, and only what he's asking you, not everything else. So the gurus have that policy, and therefore the sishyas have to ask questions, because without asking, no answer will come. Without answer, no knowledge will come. Now, a lot of people go on giving lectures. Swami Chinmayananda used to deliver lecture at big grounds, like in Hyderabad, Nizam College grounds, and there's some 40,000 people or 1 lakh people who are listening to him without any media, like TV. Those days there were no TV. So all these lakhs of people who are receiving knowledge, will they really receive? Because in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is a question asked to Yajnavalkya, when is communication complete? So he answers, only when it is received. So is it being received is the question. If it is not being received, then it's a waste. It will not be serving any purpose. So communication will be completed only when it is received, and reception will be possible only when there is a question. So that is why the question is being asked. What is the power behind each one of the intelligent activities, sentient activities of the mind, the life force, the eyes, the nose, the ears, the speech? So what is that secret force prime mover. Because when you have a vehicle moving, like you have a car moving, the engine is the prime mover. Of course, in the case of solar vehicles, there is no engine, only battery is the prime mover. But there is a prime mover, there is a source of energy, there is a driving force. Even in the Gayatri Mantra, Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat, there is a driving force, that which is driving everything. And tat savitur varenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi. So he said, we are meditating upon that great radiant universal power, which is most affectionate, varenyam. Savita, like sun, true sun. So we meditate on that great power, the Paramatman, Parabrahman, which is driving this whole universe. Shivudajala in the Chimaina Kuttadantaro. So without the driving force behind something, nothing will happen. Without the driving force of, say, organizers like Prabhakar, Babu, all these people, with this session will not happen. So what is the driving force behind the mind? What is the driving force behind the Shwasa, life, prana? What is the driving force behind the intelligent activities of the senses, the eyes, the nose, the ears, and even the speech? What makes the speech come out? That is a question asked. Then the answer is very enigmatic. Question itself is very profound, most profound. Nobody is capable of answering that question normally in the Apara Vidya, in the entire physics, chemistry, mathematics, engineering, computer science, everything put together. You cannot answer that questions. Those questions are asked, cannot be answered with ordinary worldly knowledge. So now the answer is going to be abstract, and it is Brahmajnanam. Srotrasya srotram manaso manova. Srotrasya srotram manaso manoyat. Vachoha vacham sahu pranasya prana. Chakshuscha chakshur adimuchya dhira. Vretyasman loka amrita bhavanti. The answer is not a straightforward answer. Of course, in the Gayatri Mantra, there is an answer embedded in it. Tat savitur varenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi dhiyo yona prachodaya. So the driving force behind all our intellects, dhi means intellect, which is higher mind. The driving force is that savitur varenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi. We meditate upon that radiant supreme power, divine force, which is most affectionate and beloved. So the answer is given in Gayatri Mantra and also other mantras. Yo Deva Savita Asmakam Dhiyo Dharma Digocharaha Prerayet Tasya Yad Bhargas Tad Varenyam Upasmahe. We chant this in our Sanjayandram also. Yo Deva Savita Asmakam Dhiyo Dharma Digocharaha Prerayet Tasya Yad Bhargaha Tad Varenyam Upasmahe. Now that answer is not being told here in the Kena Upanishads so directly, but it is being told in a philosophical, mysterious, and abstract manner. He says, Srotrasya Srotram Manaso Manova, the ear of the ear, the mind of the mind. That means the mind itself is not sufficient. There is a mind behind it, the intelligence behind the mind, and the speech behind the speech. Vachoho Vachuta Pranasya Pranaha, the prana of prana. What does it mean? The mind of the mind, the ear of the ear, the eye of the eye. So that dhira, the courageous people, that means the successful self-realization, people who reach self-realization will understand that power. Chasman lokaha amruta bhavanti. So those men, after giving up the identification with the senses, because normally what we are doing, we are identifying with our body, with our mind, with our senses, with our life, with our speech, everything. We are falsely identifying with all these things. So, but there is something beyond, behind, and transcendental to all this, and that is what dhiraha, the courageous people, reach to become immortal. Because all these are mortal. The body is mortal. The senses are mortal. The mind is mortal. Everything goes away. But there is something behind all this, which is amrutatva, immortal. So dhiras will reach that immortality. न तत्र चक्षुर्गच्छति न वाग्गच्छति नो मनः न विद्यो न विजानीमो यथैतदनुशिष्यात्. The eye does not go there, the speech or the mind will not go there. We do not know that Brahman. Hence, we are not aware of any process of instructing about it. Now, the question is not possible to be answered, not because there is no answer. The answer exists, but it cannot be explained in words. So, that Brahman or that X, the power behind all phenomena in this world, cannot be expressed in words. Now, vidmo na vijanimo. It cannot be known or it can be instructed to be known. Anya deva tad vidadayo avidat vidapi sushuma purvesham yenastat chakshire. That Brahman is surely different from the known, and again it is above the unknown, such as the utterance we heard of the ancient teachers who explained it. Now, can the Brahman, the force behind everything, be known or be instructed upon? Can it be taught? Can it be part of Swadhyaya and Pravachana? If it is so, then it will cease to be Brahman, because Brahman is avyaktoyam anantoyam avikaryoyam uchyate. It cannot be known, it cannot be expressed, it cannot be spoken about. Ascharyavat pasyati kaschidena ascharyavat vatati tadhaiva chanyah ascharyavaschaiva manyas shrunoti srutvapyevam vedana chaiva kaschit. So the nature of Brahman is so profound that it cannot be grasped by the mind. Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha anandam. Nature of Brahman is Satchidanandam, which cannot be expressed in words, which cannot be grasped by the mind. So you cannot give a clear-cut answer for that. That which is not uttered by speech, that by which speech is revealed. Yad vachanujitam yena vacham. It cannot be expressed in speech, but speech itself is originating from it. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. So he's talking of, the Guru is answering of a transcendental power, the supreme power, Parabrahmam, we can say in our terminology, which cannot be expressed, but all expressions originate from it. Because it is the transcendental intelligence, which is the cause of all activities. Nothing will happen, even a patta bhi nahi hilega, without the order of that power. Yan manasana manute dena ahur manomatam tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam. That Brahman, we are trying to get the knowledge of Brahman. As I told you, the entire Upanishads are Jnana Kanda. Jnana about what? Not about worldly objects. It is not Aparavidya, but it is Paravidya. So for Paravidya, for transcendental knowledge, Parabrahmam, Brahman is defined as Yatova imani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yasmin pravishanti tad Brahma. Brahman is defined by definition. Even in the Brahma Sutras, Janmadhyasya, the second sutra, that from which everything originates, creation, entire creation, that means it's a creator power and sustains and dissolves. Srishti sthiti laya. Evaniche janinchu jagamu. Evanilo palanundu leenamai. Evaniyandudindu. Parameswarudevvadu moola karanam evvadanadi. Madhyalayudevvadu sarvamudanayaina vadu. Vaninatmajunine saranambu vedada. So that which is the source of creation, sustenance and dissolution. Srishti sthiti laya. Yato va imani bhutani jayante. Yena jatani jivanti. Yasmin pravishanti tad brahma. So that Brahman, Parabrahman, transcendental Brahman, because later in the Taittiriya Upanishad, Bhrigu Varuna Samvada, Brahman is defined as initially as Annam, then as Pranam, then as Manas, then as Vijnanam, then as Anandam. So these are the Panchakoshas. The universe is made up of the Panchakoshas. The body is made up of the Panchakoshas. Yat Chakshushana Pashyati Yena Chakshunshi Pashyanti. Same thing about the eyes. That which cannot be seen with the eyes, that which will not see with eyes, but that which is responsible for the eyes to see. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate naidam yad upasate. Brahman is that and not this which you are worshipping. What is that we are worshipping? We are worshipping the objects of the real world as apparent to the five senses. Nothing beyond. We may worship money, we may worship power, we may worship all kinds of people, all kinds of demigods, all kinds of personalities. But Brahman is not all this. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. Know that to be Brahman, which is the eye of the eye, the ear of the ear, the mind of the mind, the life of the life. Shrotrasya shrotram manaso manova vacho vachu pranas. Achrotram Achrotrena nasrunoti yena srotramidam tadeva brahmatvam vidhi edam vidam. So he has, for every question that was asked, the mind, the prana, the eyes, the ears, the speech, the answer given for each one of them is that which is the eye of the eye, the speech of the speech, the ear of the ear, the mind of the mind. It is like, you may say, what is this kind of answer? Nobody will answer like this. But the subject is like that. This kind, it is like saying money of the money. What is money of the money? It's a recursive definition. So we are talking of something behind that, about which we are asking, which is not directly observable, which is not directly knowable. Yat prane na pranate yena prana pranayate tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. Now, what is that? What is its nature? On that, see about knowledge, knower, known, not known, ignorance, not having knowledge, having knowledge, not possible to have knowledge. All these possibilities exist. So now he is going to explain, discern very carefully what is knowing and what are the limitations of knowing, what are limitations of the mind to know, and limitations of knowledge of this Brahman. And so he says now, Yadi manyase suvedeti dharameva pinuna tvam vetha brahmano rupam yadatra tvam yadastra devera namanye viditam. If you think I have known Brahman well enough, then you have known only the very little expression that it has in the human body and the little experience that it has among the gods. If you say you know Brahma, if at all you know anything about Brahman, you know its manifestation in the body, or at the most, if you are a great Rishi and all, you may know the manifestation of the Brahman as Devatas. still you don't know the Brahman. Therefore, Brahman is still to be deliberated by you. I think Brahman is known. That's what the disciple says from these kind of answers which he heard. You can read this book. This is the Shankaracharya's commentary to the Kena Upanishad with very elaborate questions and answers and objections and clarifications. This is the most profound subject. Friends, please note that this is Brahma Vidya. You know, any other topic, when you say, I'm not able to understand this topic, then in Telugu, they'll ask, is it Brahma Vidya? Yamana Brahma Vidya? So that means Brahma Vidya is something which cannot be understood. It is not possible to understand, but still we try to understand. And therefore, the questions and answers will be equally abstract and they are not graspable so easily. It takes one whole life or several lives to get Brahmajnana. So when the student said, I think Brahman is known or knowable, then the teacher says, Naham manye suvedeti, no na vedeti vedacha, yonas tad veda, no na vedeti vedacha. I don't think I know. Naham manye suvedeti. I don't think I know what it is. That is, I don't think I know Brahman. And I consider not that I do not know. I mean, can you say you don't know at all? You cannot say that also because you know something. Yonas tadveda nona vedeti vedacha. He who says he knows, he doesn't know. And he who says he doesn't know, he may know something. So friends, in the normal life also, other topics also, it is not possible to know for 100% surety something. You may know a part of it, or you may know a little of it. And you know, once Balamurali Krishna made a statement, I don't know music. So, and then he made a much bigger statement, music knows me. So that means a person like the capability of Balamurali Krishna says, I don't know music. That means music is so vast that whatever he knows is only a small part of it. But he said, music knows me. What he meant by that is he has recognition in the world of music. So, Yonas tadveda nona vedeti veda. So, if someone says, I don't know, then he may know something at least because he realized that he doesn't know. Whereas someone who says, I know, he really doesn't know because he is only imagining or falsely assuming or egoistically concluding that he knows Brahman. Well, this statement is applicable not only to Brahmajnanam, it can be made applicable to other subjects also. Any subject, in my understanding, any subject you cannot say, I know. I mean, I may know something of it, like Bhartrihari also said once. I used to think I know a lot, I know everything about something, a particular topic. But when I went and attended the speeches of other speakers in workshops and conferences, then I realized that I really don't know. Because whatever that speaker is telling, 100% I don't know. So I cannot say I know everything. On that particular single topic, I'm not talking about all topics. Any topic, you cannot say you know, because you know only part of it. Naham manye suvedeti, nona vedeti vedacha. I cannot say I don't know at all. Yonas tadveda nona vedeti vedacha. So among us, he who says he doesn't know, he may know something, but he who says he knows, he does not know. I hope it's very clear now. It is known to him to whom it is unknown. Yasya matam tasya matam, matam yasya na vedastaha. Avijñātam vijānatam, vijñātam avijānatam. Very strange statement. Avijnatam vijanatam vijnatam avijanatam. It is known to him to whom it is unknown. He does not know to whom it is known. It is unknown to those who know well and known to those who do not know. What is this? So the last sentence, known to those who do not know, means in the aparokshanubhuti, in samadhi, it is possible that you can get the experience, aparokshanubhuti of the Brahman, but not knowing it in the normal sense. So we heard of people like Ramana Maharshi, for example. Has he gone to any Veda Pathshala and studied all the Vedas? Has he attended Chinmaya Mission, Ramakrishna Mission lectures? Has he attended a course on Sanatana Dharma offered by VSS and VYV? Nothing like that. He may not even have gone to 10th class. In fact, I know my mother's guru, one lady used to be there. She could not even write, but she was able to get Brahmajnana directly through Samadhi. And she used to sing songs and give lectures. I'll give you an example. Inta kantanu vinta galada, tane brahmambanu tattvamunu marchi, ratiki mrokyadari inta kantanu vinta galada. These are the kind of songs and lectures which she used to deliver. She never studied a single book. She cannot read or write. Now, how is it possible? It is possible through the yoga sadhana. Some people are born like that. Some people learn that from their gurus and they get enlightened. My own mother was highly enlightened, though she has not read all possible books which we are reading. But she knew that. That's why those who don't know may know, but those who say they know, they definitely don't know. Because not only Brahmajnana, which cannot be known anyway, but even other subjects, if you say you know, that means you don't know, because the subject is so vast and it's continuously getting updated daily. I mean, like, if you say you know, then you really don't know. Like, for example, in cyber, I mean, all cybersecurity professional, police, and all these people think we know the threats. But there is one threat there, which is an unknown threat. Every day a new threat will come. So you can't say you know. So similarly, any subject, medical knowledge or any knowledge, it is so continuously growing that it is impossible for any one single person to know everything. However much he may think he knows, that is only his ignorance. That's why, due to ignorance, people say, I know. And those who say, I don't know, they know that they don't know, because they know where they stand, what they know and what they don't know. At least that much knowledge they have. Therefore, when somebody says, I don't know, that means he knows something. This is what the Upanishad is saying. Pratibodhita pratibodha viditam matam amritatvam hi vindate atmana vindate viryam virjaya vindate amrutam. The Brahman is really known when it is known with each state of consciousness. In each state of consciousness, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, because there one gets immortality, through one's own self is acquired strength, therefore through knowledge is attained immortality. Yeah, now the whole question is about immortality. Amrutatvam, Amrutasya Putraha. Who will achieve Amrutatvam? Only by Brahmajnanam you can achieve Amrutam. Because Brahman is Amrutam. Because it is not born, Ajam. Because it is Ajam, it is Amrutam. Therefore, when you realize that you are Brahman, Tane Brahmamanu Tattvamunu Marchi, రాతికి మొక్కెదరి ఇంతకంటేను వింతగలదా తానే బ్రహ్మంబను తత్వం. That means the Brahmajnana Tattva, Brahmatmana Samsthiti. In fact, Shankaracharya said in one of his books, Jantunam Narajanma Durlabhataram. To be born as a human among all the animals is a very rare thing because there are 84 lakhs of species. Tatopi Viprata. Among all humans, there are millions and trillions of humans, but to be a Vipra, to be able to get the opportunity to study the Vedas, Upanishads, etc., is even much more rare. Jantunam narajanma durlabhadaram tatopi viprata tattu vaidika dharma marga parata. And being dedicated to the Vaidika dharma marga is even further rare. Vidvat saghoshanam, tattu vidvat sughoshanam. Having done that, to have interactions with Vidwans on deliberations, discussions, to inquire into the nature of the self and nature of Brahman, even further rarer. And finally, Brahmatmana Samsthitihi, to be established in oneness with Brahman. That is, Jivatma Paramatma Samyoga Eva Yogaha. That oneness, Brahmatmana Samsthitihi, Aham Brahmasmi, experience, not just saying it. To reach that stage is not possible at all unless and until Shatajanma Koti Sukrutair Vinalabhyate. Unless and until there is Punya Karma, Punya accumulated out of 100 crore lives. Because you are born and dead and born and died, born and died, born and died, again born and died. So how many lives you must have gone through? We don't know. But if you have gone through 100 crores, Shata Janma Koti Sukrutair Vina, and if you have acquired Punya Karma during those lives, only then you will be able to achieve that Brahmatmana Samsthitihi, which is the last pinnacle of human existence, of human life achieved. प्रतिबोधविदितं मतममृतत्वं हि विन्दते आत्मना विन्दते वीर्यं विद्यया विन्दते अमृतम्. So vidyaya vindate amrutam. With the Brahmajnana, the recognition that I am not Jiva but I am Brahman, you will get amrutatva. My mother used to tell our culture is that of immortality. There is no death. Who is dying? The body is dying, not me. And about death also a very interesting statement. I don't care, I am not afraid of death because death will not come as long as I am there. If at all death comes, I don't care because I am not there. So when I am there, death will not come. And when I am not there, if death comes, it doesn't matter to me. So being fearless is very important. And Avadhuta Gita also says, Ishvaranugraha Deva Pumsam Advaita Vasana. Even the Vasana of Advaita, oneness with Brahman, will come only with great grace of Ishvara. Ishvara Anugraha Deva Pumsam Advaita Vasana Mahat Bhaya Paritranam Vipranam Upajayate. It will be born in the Vipras. Vipras means those who have studied Vedas. And for what purpose? Mahat Bhaya Paritrana, to rescue from the greatest fear of life. What is the greatest fear of life? Greatest fear of life is death. Everybody is afraid of death. Iha ched vedavitha satyamasti cha veched bhuteshu bhuteshu vichincha dhira pretyasman lokan amruta bhavanti. If one has realized here, then there is truth. If one has not realized here, then there is great destruction. Now, this is a very profound statement. If you don't get realization right now in this life, gone. You will be born again, and you are not sure of what you will be born again. You are not sure of being born again as human also, let alone as a Vipra or with Veda Jnana or Brahmajnana, etc., etc. Now, This Upanishad has given the profound expression of the nature of unknowability of Brahman. And then, of course, the next chapter deals about a different episode to prove the supremacy of Brahman against Devata, all Devatas. So there is a story given that there is a unknown entity. He calls it Yaksha. And then people ask, what is this? Then the Agni says, I can burn it. It goes and finds it cannot burn. And then Vayu says, I can move it. I cannot move. So then he realized that they all realized that this is Brahman, which is beyond Achedyoyam, Adakyoyam, Akledjo, Asoshevacha, Nitya Sarvagatasthanu, Achaloyam Sanatanaha, Avyaktoyam, Achintyoyam, Avikaryoyam Uchyate. So the Bhagavad Gita gives the entire summary of the entire Brahmajnanam. That's why Bhagavad Gita has supreme recognition as the Moksha Shastra, which will give moksha, because it is a distilled summary of the Upanishads. So I am skipping some of the portions of this Upanishad because they are more anecdotal and explaining the supremacy of Brahma and Brahmajnana. So we'll go to the end of this and have more. Yeah, so the Palashruti. Now, in this second part or third part of the Upanishad, they have explained the supremacy of Brahman. And finally, the disciple is asking, can you explain me the secret knowledge? Upanishadam bho bruhit yuktva. The Upanishad Brahmim vacha. The Upanishadam brumeti. Sir, speak of the secret knowledge. Teacher is answering, I have told you the secret knowledge. I have imparted to you that very secret knowledge of it. So the Brahmajnanam is Param Gopyam. It is the highest secret. It cannot be expressed. It cannot be written about. It cannot be read about. It cannot be discussed about. It is a secret knowledge which the Guru has expressed in the Kenopanishad. Of course, it's not that only with this Kenopanishad you will get the entire Brahmajnanam. In fact, in the Kathopanishad, he clearly says, it is not Nayamatma Pravachanena Labhyo. Atmajnanam or Brahmajnanam cannot be achieved by lectures. Na medhaya, not by great intelligence. Na bahura srutena, not by hearing so much or by studying Vedas. Then how do you get Adhyatma Yogena Vadhigamyam? Only by the Adhyatma Yoga, that is the spiritual experience process. Spiritual yogic processes, you can achieve self-realization. So with this, I will stop here and I will go for the Shanti mantras of the Upanishad. Om Apyayantu mamangani Vak pranas chakshusrotra madhovalam Indriyani cha sarvani Sarvam Brahmopanishadam Maham Brahma nirakuryam Mama Brahma nirakarot Anirakaranam me astu Yadatmani nirate Ya Upanishatsu dharmaste Mayi santute Mayi santu. I'll explain the meaning of this as a concluding comment. Apyayantu mamangani Vak pranas chakshusrotra madhovalam indriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahmopanishadam. May my organs of the body, starting with speech, Vak pranas chakshu srotra madhovalam indriyani cha sarvani apyayantu. May all be apyayantu means may all be energized, blessed, divinized, spiritualized. Vak pranas chakshu srotra madhobalam indriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahmopanishadam. All these, my entire persona is Brahmopanishadam. I am close to Brahman. Maham Brahma nirakuryat, mama Brahma nirakarot. Anirakaranamastu, anirakaranamastu. Tad atmani nirate Upanishatsu dharmaste mai santu, e mai santu. May Brahman not reject me. May I not reject Brahman. May Brahmajnanam be not rejected by me, nor I be rejected by Brahmajnanam. And may I get the Brahmajnanam given in the Upanishads. The Upanishatsu dharma, all the dharmas given in the Upanishads, may all come into me. Vaste, may all come into me. May all come into me. This is the meaning of Sapyayantu mamangani. Vak pranas chakshusrotram adhobalam indriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahmopanishadam maham brahma nirakudyat mama brahma nirakarot anirakaranamastu anirakaranam me astu tadatmani nirate ya upanishatsu dharmaste mayi santu te mayi santu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are finished. Now we will have question and answer session of some questions of yesterday also and today also. Yesterday we could.
Thank you. Now we will have question answer session. Those who want to ask any question, raise your hand. Yeah, Ramani.
Namaste, Andy.
Namaste.
When you say there is no death, then there is no death to the Atma, then why we are all following this karma, for the elders, why we offer all this?
No, your voice is not clear. Please speak.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, now better. Yeah.
So when we say there is no death to that Atma, then why do we follow all these offering for the people, our elders who are died, and why do we do this every year?
In fact, you are answering your own question. If the people have died and they are not there at all, then why should you do anything? You should do only when they are really there. You understand? That means there is no death. They are there somewhere in some other way. See, you are sending a money order to your parents in a village because they are really there. So this is like a money order. They are there in some other form, either in Pitruloka or in some other loka, maybe Swargaloka, we don't know where. We cannot know at this level of knowledge, but some people know that also. In fact, in the Gujarat earthquake time, thousands of people died. And after they died, there was some person who was able to create a link between the dead and the living. They were able to interact. And so this, all this Vasu, Rudra, Aditya, 3 lokas, they are there, 3 generations, they will be there, or they may be born again by then, we don't know. It doesn't matter even if they're born, because you see, there is an episode in the Harivamsam where Krishna went into the cave to fight a war with Jambavanta. You know that story, right? Samantakamani story. So when Krishna was fighting inside the cave, a lot of blood and all that came out. So the Yadavas, Krishna's people who went there outside the cave, they saw a lot of blood coming and many days passed. So they concluded falsely that Krishna died. So because they thought Krishna died, they performed Shraddha Karma, the question which you are asking. Krishna is alive only inside. by performing that Shraddha karma, Krishna got more strength. So even if somebody is born again, if you are performing karma, in that birth, that person will get more strength. And if he is not born in some loka, he will receive the benefits of your Pitru karma. So Pitru karma cannot be avoided. Okay, I have answered your question. Next.
Anybody else who wants to? Why we restricted only boys or men? What is that?
Not only this karma, any karma. Upanayana also was given to boys for simple reason of practicality of many problems. Previously, even in some traditions, females also get Upanayanam, and I have seen some families doing Upanayanam, females also. But later on, due to certain practical problems, it was converted into marriage itself as Upanayanam for the female. So it is not that man and woman are different. If man is doing, woman is automatically doing, who is married to him, 50% automatically comes. It is not any discrimination. It is a kind of practical feasibility situation. Like women have a lot of other issues which males don't have, and there are also like why women should not chant Veda mantras, because Veda mantras are very powerful, and suppose woman is having pregnancy or some other thing, then it will create a lot of disturbance, and menstruation, periods, so all these problems are there. That's why they are prohibited into various rituals because of the distractions and disturbances, not for any other reason. So it doesn't matter, male or female. Like my mother, of course, she was very old by that time. But so anyway, these issues are minor issues. So they are only for convenience reasons and other reasons. Yes, any other question?
Venkateshwar garu.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
The entire Kenopanishad, as understood, these Indriyas, I have the raw material called mind, intellect, body. With this limited mind, intellect, I am not able to comprehend the Brahman which is pervading. That is what I understood. But how do we comprehend? Because I have only today raw material, assets are only in my mind and my experiences and my intellect. How do we transit and get that the entire Brahman which is beyond me?
Yeah, good question. That is the whole process of Adhyatma Yoga. I'm not talking of just physical yoga. So the entire process of evolution or transformation from the mundane body level or sense level or mind level into the higher spiritual level, that process of transition from here to here, that process has to be gone through. Okay. So for that, we have the Adhyatma Yoga. That's why Kathopanishad says Adhyatma Yogenaiva Adhigamyam. It can be achieved, reached only through Adhyatma Yoga, the spiritual process of transformation and evolution.
Even in that sadhana, adhyatma sadhana, we are studying, we are going to study the scriptures, or we are getting into deep meditation and comprehend.
Both, all aspects will be there. Scriptures will be there, no doubt. But again, as I said, the same scripture will not give the same meaning to all those who read it or hear it. They all get different meanings. So depending on the evolution of the person. So this is a spiritual evolution. It may take many lives. It may take one life. Depends on the case. So I have been studying the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads for the last 60, 70 years. But every time I am getting new insights. Now I am able to teach something. Earlier I only learned. I have attended lectures in Ramakrishna Math and Chinmaya Mission and so many other places for about 40 years. And then I started delivering lectures. But every time I come to realize something new, the discovery process. So it's a continuous evolution.
Sir, okay, so last question. No? Only by knowledge this moksha is available. Idi మనం yesterday also we spoken. Gnanamu dwarane mokshamu. But as you today also you touched Ramana Maharshi, also your mother, and many people, Ramakrishna Paramahansa, they never went to any school and they never studied Upanishads, but they attend moksha. So how do we
Yeah,
understand?
that jnana, no, but the fact that they delivered jnana to others, that itself shows that they had that jnana, though not theoretical, academic, bookish knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? Jnana need not be through books or through lectures. That self-realization came to them automatically. So that's why they were, whatever they spoke became Upanishad. That became jnana. So jnana is there. Jnana means awareness, realization, knowledge. So a lot of people have jnana. Like, in fact, if you go in the modern approach of knowledge, what is knowledge and what is wisdom and what is information, what is knowledge management, what types of different types of knowledge. I wrote a book on knowledge management. Knowledge management is defined as internalization of knowledge, externalization of knowledge, and socialization of knowledge. This is the definition of knowledge management by Nonaka. Now, there are at least two types of knowledge, what is called explicit knowledge and what is called implicit knowledge or empirical knowledge. Like a lot of people, we have our old ladies who have a lot of knowledge of a lot of things there, but they never went to any school or any college. So that is empirical knowledge, which can be converted into explicit knowledge when they deliver talk or lecture or anything they express. So in fact, the Upanishads also, the books which we are reading, they have not been copied from some other books. They have been delivered from the experience. So another Ramana Maharshi or another saint, they have, all these rishis are like that only. So they got that realization through deep meditation, through the spiritual process of evolution. So that is what is meant by Brahmajnana.
Dhanyavad.
Okay, and now we'll have Murthy garu.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I think I have to unmute you. I think. Okay,
Anybody else?
Murthy garu.
నమస్తే జీ.
Namaste.
ఇప్పుడు ఈ వేదాల్లో భాగమే కాబట్టి ఉపనిషత్తులు ఈ చదివేటప్పుడు ఏమన్నా నియమాలు ఫాలో అవ్వాలా అనేది ఒకటి. రెండోది ఈ వేదాంగాలు, నిరుక్తి, జ్యోతిషం, కల్పం వల్ల షడంగాలు అవి కూడా తప్పనిసరిగా నేర్చుకోవాలనే నియమం ఉందా?
Veda, I'll put the question in English, whether there is necessity to learn the Vedangas or there are any restrictions to study the Upanishads along with Vedas. Yeah, Upanishads are fourth part of Veda. That is why it's called Vedanta. Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, and Upanishad, there are four parts. So all the rules and restrictions that apply to Vedas will also apply to Upanishads in principle, yes. That means you have to be in Sattva-guda, you have to be Shuchi, you have to be this, you have to be that, so many things. And even then you may not understand, that's a separate issue. So now Vedangas are the preliminary requirements, like Vyakaranam. If you don't know grammar, how you can find the meaning you tell? So without Vedangas, you cannot understand the Vedas completely. So whatever extent you are understanding is because you know that much of Vedanga. Like Vyakaranam, I studied Panini Ashtadhyayi when I was 12 years old. That's why today I'm able to deliver lectures and break up words and explain. If I don't know Vyakaranam, then nothing, I will not be able to explain anything. So the answer is yes for your option given. Okay. Of course, it's a question of quality. How much is the question? Everybody is not everything. There are Vyakaranams, there are so many Vyakaranams. There are Patanjali Mahabhashyam. If you have studied Mahabhashyam, then you are the ultimate Vyakarana. So it depends on what level you have reached. And Jyotisham also, like that, so many 6 Vedangas are there. So at least the minimum essentials, if you are able to grasp or master, only then you will understand anything at all. Otherwise, you won't understand anything. Next
Okay.
question.
Okay, Vikas.
Namaste, Prabhu sir.
Yes, Vikas. Yeah.
Yes.
Vikas Joshi is our Melbourne Vishwayoga Vidyapit Center in charge. He's at Melbourne.
Oh,
He's very
okay.
dynamic and actively organized our programs. We conducted yoga programs at Melbourne, Australia 3 years back. 10 days he hosted and organized a program along with Mr. Purne Garu, who is not attending right now. They are our, strong branch anchors in Melbourne, Australia. Go ahead, Vikas.
Yes, again, like as always, like when I'm listening to you, I have to just leave everything and just listen to you. Like I don't want to miss a single word. And so I have an observation which I want to share, and then please tell me what is your take on it.
Yes.
Like especially I observed this when I'm listening to you. As you said, the person who knows, who says he knows, he doesn't really know. And the one who says, I don't know, in fact, knows what he don't know, which is much bigger than what anybody can know. So to know that we don't know is a bigger knowing. I'm not sure if that makes sense.
Correct.
So in this process, what I realize is while you're talking, and then when I try to make sense of it, I feel the talk is giving a feeling of self-discovery. Instead of knowing something new, it is like you know it, but then you are discovering it.
Correct.
So in a way, when like as I said, what is Brahman? Many people don't know, but then we say Aham Brahmasmi. So while we are gathering this knowledge of knowing and not knowing, we are in fact exploring our own self. We are discovering our own self, and in that process, we are discovering Brahman.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for the observation.
So does that make sense, all of it? Or-
Yes, yes. As the last word I would like to amend,
Mhm.
the discovering yourself is one process. Discovering Brahman is another process.
Mhm.
Both are connected, both are ultimately related, and they're identifiable with each other. But it is not something which is so easily communicable or expressible or understandable.
Mhm.
You see, there are many things in our life which cannot be communicated.
Mhm.
Like, for example, the feeling which you have for me right now, it cannot be communicated in words, though you try.
Mhm.
To some extent, you may be able to communicate,
Mhm.
but the entire thing you cannot communicate. Even the mother's love for a child cannot be expressed, cannot be communicated.
Right.
It is vast. So the spiritual realization, self-realization is also is in fact the ultimate among those which cannot be communicated. That's why in the case of the Dakshinamurti,
Mhm.
it is said that he just delivered a lecture of silence. Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam. So in silence itself, there is tremendous communication. I'll quote one important quote from Meher Baba, which says that when the mouth is silent, the mind is active. When the mind is silent, the heart is active. When the heart is silent, the soul is active. And when the soul is silent, God is active.
Wow. Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. That was very enlightening. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Padmini Garu. You have to unmute.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, yes.
Namaste, Guruji. I just
Yes.
want to know if Brahma Sutras are included, are the part of Paravidya.
Yes, yes, very much. Brahma
Yes,
Sutras
okay,
are
understood.
nothing but, no, Brahma Sutras are nothing but the summary of Upanishads, and they are very much part of
And
Paraham.
Bhagavad Gita. Okay, okay.
Yeah, and Bhagavad Gita, 3, Prasthanatrayam. Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and Bhagavad Gita, Prasthanatrayam. They are
Okay,
definitely
Paravidya.
Paravidya.
Paravidya. And how about astrology, sir? It is a part of Veda, isn't it? But
So in Vedanga, it is a Vedanga.
Vedanga. So it is not, it comes under Aparavidya.
Yes, yes. Prerequisites, actually. Prerequisites. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you, sir. That's what I wanted to know. Thank
Okay,
you.
okay. Radheshan Mishra garu.
प्रभु जी नवातुभ्यम
Namaha, Namaha, Namaha. Yeah, go ahead.
जी वेदों में जो इसको ब्राह्मण को नेत नेत कह करके पुकारा गया है,
Yeah.
तो इसे किस रूप में एग्जैक्टली हम परिभाषित कर सकते हैं? और दूसरा प्रश्न है कि जगत को मिथ्या और ब्रह्म को सत्य कहा गया है, तो जगत को मिथ्या कैसे कहा जाता है?
हाँ. तो ये जो नेति नेति का जो सिद्धांत है, वो तो अभी हम केनोपनिषद में भी आपको सुनवाया है. नेदम यदिदम उपासते तदेव ब्रह्मत्वं विद्धि, न इदम यदिदम उपासते, न इदम, not this, not this, not this. What is this? Body, mind, intellect, senses, and all the objects observed by the body, mind, intellect, senses. So not this, not this, not this, because these are all small parts. The word Brahman itself means Bratvad Brahman. जो सब कुछ होके होता है वो ब्रह्मन. तो छोटे छोटे उसमें जो भाग है वो ब्रह्मन नहीं हो सकते. समझ गया आप? तो जो 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 परतत्व है, ट्रांसेंडेंटल ट्रूथ, which is beyond and including sabhumim sato vrutva achatishthad dasangulam, having pervaded everything, it transcends all this. So that's why it is neti 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 bolte hai. Because if you say this, is it this, is it this? Like suppose I say body is Brahman. In fact, in Shankaracharya makes it very clear. Deham pranam api indriyanyapi chalam buddhincha शून्यम विदुः स्त्री बालांध जड़ोपमात् त्वहमिति भ्रांता भृशं वादिना माया शक्ति विलास कल्पित महाव्यामोह संहारिणे तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. So what he says is, if you ask a question, suppose I ask you, who are you? So the normal ordinary, मामूली आदमी बोलेगा मैं शरीर हूँ, देह और प्राणम. Next, Manas, Deham Pranamapi Indriyanyapi Chalam Buddhim cha Sunyam Viduhu. Some people say I am Buddhi. And if not all this, Buddhists themselves say I am Sunyam. And all this he has dismissed. Sri Balandha Jadopamas Ahamiti Branta Bhrusham Vadinaha. So those who think their body, their mind, their intellect, their Sunyam, they are fools. Prantaha, they are in delusion. Bhrusham Vadinaha, they are talking utter rubbish. So Maya Shakti Vilasa Kalpita, all this is the creation of the Maya Shakti Vilasa. So whatever you think you are, it is not you. I have already discussed this in my previous lectures on who am I, and in Ashtavakra Samhita, Avadhuta Gita, various lectures I gave. Who am I is the fundamental question. That is what Ramana Maharshi was also asking. If you say you are the body, now it is partially true, relatively true. To that level it is true, but not next level. So next level, finally Sunyam. With this at the last level, I am Sunyam. Nothing is there. Finally, beyond that is the Brahman. It is not even Sunyam. So Brahmajnanam Param Gopyam. So that is, you see, Brahmajnanam is not possible to be expressed in the first place. So negation of the known items is called neti neti iti vakyataha. Na ham deho, na indriyanyantarangam, na ahankaraha, pranavargo, na buddhihi. And not all this. This is neti neti process. And Jagat Mithya Brahma Satyam is again same thing, because Jagat is only having individual components. whereas Brahman is the essence of everything and transcending everything. Because whatever appears to you is only one part of the entire truth. So Brahman, like Vishwarupa, you can see what is Vishwarupa. It comprises of everything and beyond everything. Ichcha anyadrashtumichhasi. He tells Arjuna, Krishna tells Arjuna, oh Arjuna, you see, Pasyame Pardha Rupani Shatashodha Sahasrajaha Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Kritini cha Pasya Adityan Vasun Rudran Asvino Marutastatha Bahunyadrishta Purvani Pasya Ascharyani. So you see everything which you know and what you don't know also you can see. So understood what is Jagan Mithya and Brahma Satyam, because Brahman is much, much greater, higher transcendental truth than the Jagat. The Jagat word, Jagat itself means तो जाते रहता है, जो जाते रहता है उसको जगत बोलते हैं. तो उसमें कोई सच्चता नहीं है, सच्चता हो ही नहीं सकता. Truth cannot be there in something that continuously changes and continuously goes. So that which is permanent, eternal, infinite. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. That is the definition of Brahma. That alone can be truth, rest cannot be truth. Okay?
जी गुरु जी, मैं कह रहा हूं वेदों में प्रत्यक्ष को प्रमाण माना गया है और जो जगत हमें प्रत्यक्ष दिखाई दिया रहा है इसे कैसे मिथ्या मान सकते हैं?
अभी तो मैं बताया आपको, आप
प्रत्यक्ष
प्रपंच
प्रमाण
बोल रहे हो ना. प्रपंच का मतलब क्या है? पंच, पंच तत्वों से बना हुआ है. तो जो पंच तत्वों से बना हुआ है वही प्रपंच है. और वो तो मिथ्या ही है क्योंकि वो बदलते जा रहा है. जो आज है वो कल नहीं होगा, जो कल है परसों नहीं होगा. आप समझ रहे हैं मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? जो दिखता है वो सच नहीं है. जो सच है वो दिखता नहीं है. जो आपको दिख रहा है जगत कंटिन्यूअसली मूविंग, एवरी सेकंड देयर इज ए डिफरेंट जगत. है ये सच है नहीं? बताइए.
सही बात गुरु जी. नहीं गुरु जी,
तो
मैं एक कहना चाहता था कि प्रत्यक्ष को प्रमाण माना गया है उपनिषदों में भी और वेदों में प्रत्यक्ष
किसको प्रमाण माना गया है?
प्रत्यक्ष को, डायरेक्ट को, प्रत्यक्ष जो सामने दिखाई दे रहा है, जो सामने दिखाई दे रहा है प्रत्यक्ष.
ठीक है, प्रत्यक्ष तो ठीक है.
तो जगत हमें प्रत्यक्ष दिखाई दे रहा है तो हम इसको कैसे मिथ्या मान सकते हैं?
हाँ, क्योंकि अभी आप चांद को देखा कभी? चांद का क्या साइज है? पापड़ का साइज है ना?
या
ये क्या है, सच है? चांद का साइज पापड़ का साइज है क्या? दिखता तो पापड़ है, प्रत्यक्ष है. तो प्रत्यक्ष सच हो ही नहीं सकता है, इसलिए अनुमान लगाया गया है ना
जी.
यदि प्रत्यक्ष यदि काफी है तो दूसरे प्रमाणों की जरूरत ही नहीं है.
जी गुरु जी.
तो कई सारे प्रमाण है, प्रत्यक्ष है, अनुमान है, उपमान है और आखिरी में शब्द प्रमाण है.
जी.
शब्द प्रमाण, श्रुति प्रमाण है जो वेद कहता है. इनफैक्ट वेदस्य वेदता, वेद को वेद क्यों कहा जाता है, उसका वेदता कैसा अर्थ है? जो प्रत्यक्ष और अनुमान प्रमाणों को जो नहीं पहुंच सकता है उस चीजों का तत्व बताता है. उसलिए वेद का वेदता. शब्द प्रमाण, आगम प्रमाण, वेद प्रमाण इसलिए बना है. आप तो भगवान को देख नहीं सकते, आत्मा को देख नहीं सकते, आप कुछ भी देख नहीं सकते. आप जो देखते हैं प्रत्यक्ष में वो तो बहुत कम है. एक बेवकूफ छोटा बच्चा मानेगा प्रत्यक्ष प्रमाण सच है. पूरा साइंस जो है अनुमान प्रमाण पे चलता है, प्रत्यक्ष से नहीं. ठीक है,
धन्यवाद गुरु जी.
Okay, very good session. But I think Vikas again wants to quickly. Now we are running out of time. Quickly, Vikas.
Yes, sir. I mean, just to bring up a point to what just now we said, I have a different angle to it. If I can add, I would like to say Brahma Satya, fine. Jagat Mithya is too much to say. So I use the word Jagat Tathya, which is a factual thing. So if we can put that in a logical way, I mean, any debate can be done away with.
Because you have you heard what I spoke just now?
Yes, sir.
Then that is the answer to this also.
Yes, correct.
Jagat can never be the ultimate truth.
Yes.
The word Jagat itself shows that which goes.
Yes, sir.
Jati, jata hai, jate rehta hai.
Hmm.
So it's continuous change. Now, for example, you are staying in Melbourne, right?
Yes.
Now, I came to Melbourne some 2017 or 19, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, if I come again now, the Melbourne which will be visible to me will be the same as a Melbourne which was there at that time.
No.
It
More.
because continuous changes are taking place.
Yes, sir.
So in our human body, every day some 10,000 cells are being replaced. They are dying except brain cells. All other cells die and they are getting replaced.
Correct.
So change is a continuous process. So Jagat is definitely Mithya.
Hmm.
It cannot be anything other than Mithya. If you just now the previous speaker, I thought you understood Hindi. He was maintaining the same position that Pratyaksha is held as a pramana. It is a valid fact, valid means of knowledge, pramana. Yes, it is, but it has got its limitations. Okay.
So just to add to, so pramana can only confirm tathya. So
that's what I'm saying. No, just hold on.
Yeah.
Tathya means fact. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you observe moon, Pratyaksha says moon is of poppet size. Is it true?
No.
So
I mean,
now
from an experiential point of view,
Pratyaksha from Pratyaksha point of view, there is no atom, there is no electron, nothing is there. Only what you see is there. So Pratyaksha has its limitations. You understand what I'm saying?
yes.
So Pratyaksha cannot be relied upon 100% because the senses are not infinite power. They are having limited. Like for example, we cannot see infrared, whereas the cat can see. Cat can see in darkness infrared images. And bat can see. So Pratyaksha is constrained by the Aksha. Aksha means the senses. Prati Aksha, what is visible to the senses. Therefore, we adopt the next level pramana, which is inference, anumana. So the entire body of science and technology is based upon inference, not direct observation. So the electron or the electromagnetic radiation or your mobile phone, everything is based upon anumana pramana, not pratyaksha pramana. Pratyaksha has got a limited, very small, limited scope. Beyond that is anumana pramana. That is what I told in the previous answer. You have not understood. Now I'm explaining again in English. I explained in Hindi last time. So anumana pramana also has certain limitations. Like what happens after death, whether soul exists, whether God exists. All these questions cannot be answered by science, by inference, by any kind of conclusions, or by logical analysis or deduction. There are topics and questions and which cannot be answered. That is why we go for the Shabda Pramana, referential knowledge, which is Agama, which is Veda, or those who are called Aptavakya, those who have sincerity and those who have intuition or experience or previous knowledge is something which we don't have. So to give an example, simple example of Shabda Pramana is when you go to the doctor, and the doctor will tell you, you got malaria. How do you know whether you really got malaria or not? You really don't know. Can you find out yourself whether you got malaria or not? You don't have the adequate knowledge. So you simply accept what doctor says. You have no choice. Similarly, a child has no choice but to accept what the teacher or parents say. Very small child. I'm not talking about grown-up child like you. So it is a question of referential knowledge, pramana. That is Shabda Pramana, Agama, or Veda Pramana. It has to be accepted because you have no choice. And that Veda Pramana is based upon higher transcendental experience. That's what we have been talking about. The process of spiritual transformation, like the yogic transformation, the siddhis yogis get. How they are getting siddhis? They are in a different level, which you are not. Just like, a man is at a higher level than an ordinary animal. But some animals are at higher level. The dog can smell better than man. So the eagle can see better than man. So it is a question of the development of those faculties. So when yogis develop higher level faculties, they get siddhis, which others cannot get. And then others run behind them saying, you are God, you are God. That is how all the Siddha Purushas turn out to be gods nowadays. And so the higher level awareness, when you are in the Sahasrara Chakra, you get Samadhi stage, then you are able to sense the Paramatma Tattvam. Jivatma Paramatma Samyoga Eva Yoga. That is Brahmajnanam. So it is a question of at what level you are. So it is not just ordinary Prachaksha. It is not ordinary Anumana. It is not limited with Shabda also. It is even finally experience. Aparokshanubhuti. Yeah, I
Okay.
think we'll close now.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu Garu. You have completed your webinar on Upanishads in 1 hour or 45 minutes, and then gave enough time to all of us for the interaction. That will be very useful to all of us. And now, on behalf of all the participants, let me thank you for this. And then now we'll have Prarthana and then Janganamana. Satyavati ji, can you do Prarthana, please?
महोदय
Go ahead.
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वे वै सुखिनः सन्तु सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सत्यं वद धर्मं चर सर्वे जना सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु नमस्कार महोदय
Dhanyavadaha. Let's have Janaganamana and then close.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्ज्वल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हे जय जय
Thank you, Challa Chittibabu. So now I think we'll close.